All that exists comes out of isness. Exit out. Isness is silence. That's what you are. And all that comes out of that silence is pure consciousness. It's only mind. What can there be made of silence? What construction can there be solid out of silence, out of consciousness? It can only be consciousness. This whole world, with all forms on it, pure consciousness. It only appears in that what exists out of silence. Silence is empty, it's nothing, it's not a thing. And what comes out of it cannot be a thing. It has no structure, it has no feeding ground, it has no content. It is consciousness, the content of anything that you see or hear. It's all consciousness. It's mind. Your whole body, everyone's body, your children, your family, the people around you, every citizen on the world, only in consciousness. You yourself, consciousness. This helps to become free of all the heavy stuff that weights you down. The fear of sickness and pain and dying, and for your family and for every soul that you see, the hope they will be blessed and happy and find what they search for. All that is your own consciousness that wants to be happy, that wants to find what it searches for. It has no form, no weight, no out of form, no content. It's just emptiness. You can look right through it. You can look right through yourself. You are transformation. You are transforming. Transparent, I mean. You can look through yourself, see the emptiness of the consciousness that it is. Consciousness is not visible. It is only existence out of your own silence, the core that you are. You are this silence. Don't lose yourself in the busy world of consciousness and forms. Why should you? It doesn't help you. It never brought you happiness. Only trouble. Troubles of that which has no form. So the trouble has no form, but still you feel it because you give attention to it. Be free of all that what bothers you and what fills up your consciousness, your emptiness, your bliss. Stay what you always are and were and will be. Free, empty awareness. you know how you can convince yourself that all this what is now here is not true, it is not the reality. Well, see that yesterday, suppose it is now yesterday, this now here is yesterday. At that moment, you were convinced that everything that was coming and going, it was there at that time. Something happened, you reacted, you thought about it, you talked to somebody, and it was real. But now you know that it is yesterday that it happened. And today is a totally different day. And what was yesterday, somebody came and you talked to him, it's gone, it's not there. It is not now here. So this way you can see what was yesterday is not real. It's gone by. It was, I think, it felt as real, but I know it's gone. So it was not real. It was for a moment. And now today it's different. There's no one to talk to. So now this is the reality. Or think about now that is now tomorrow. You have an appointment for tomorrow. You have to go somewhere. And today you are not going somewhere. But the appointment for tomorrow is that you go somewhere. Now suppose today is not today but tomorrow. Then you might say, oh, I'm late, I have to go somewhere. But it is not true. Neither of it is, nothing of it is true. You see what I mean about reality? It's only the moment that you are aware of things that they seem to be there. But they are gone as soon as your mind changes and has another object in it. So what is happening is that where you point your mind. You put your mind on. And mind is taking you out. But neither yesterday, nor today, nor tomorrow, what is happening is not real. The only thing happening, the only thing real is, the one inside who knows about it, the observer, the witness. You were yesterday the witness when there was someone where you talked to. Today you are the witness when there is no one, and you will be the witness tomorrow when you have this appointment. And so you can continue with all things happening, but you are only the witness. It's your mind that makes it up. Your mind makes it happen, and you believe the happenings. You must be totally crazy about it, and we all are crazy. That's why we long for freedom, because there is so much that takes our attention that we are totally lost. Where am I? Am I yesterday talking? Am I today alone? Am I tomorrow at the appointment? It's exhausting. Just be what you are. Be the witness, like reading a book. Enjoy it. And live with the poor ones who are lost in that so-called adventure of the book of their mind. But it is all a movie. And stay to that. That's what you are. Watching the movie. And reading the book, and when you don't like it anymore, you put out the movie and you close the book, and you are back in yourself. That's the freedom that you are searching for. It is all the time, here, now, and eternally. But it will be so much deeper realized and experienced. That's what's coming. Happy, happy, happy. This invisibility inside of you dreams this visibility outside of you to experience the invisibility inside. Both is the same you, one dreaming and one dreamt. One formless and one form. But you believe only one of those. You believe the outer form. And that's why you are lost. If you only believe the dream, the dreamer, that's to say the invisible, then there is nothing at all. But you know every time you wake up and you are there, so then you are lost also. If you only dream the dreamt form, then as also one, you cut yourself in two. That's not possible, that hurts. You are not only the outer form and not only the inner form, formlessness, as long as you breathe. So you have to deal with this duality of your own oneness. Accept both. Don't deny your life, your form, because it's there, you feel it, you experience it. Also, it is not reality. And don't deny the inner source from where this form came. Accept both, and you will be equally happy. Blessed and blessings. Blessed you are. Realize that once you stepped out of your prison, the whole world is your own power. It is not that you are in that world, that big, great, dangerous world, as a victim, imprisoned in your form, and can be attacked by other forms and the spirits and the minds and the egos of all other forms. No, it is you that have the power over this whole world. You are so great. You are this power in which this world appears. That's totally different view, but that's a truth. The world appears in you. Your body, other bodies, other forms, all appearances, they arise in your awareness and they descend in your awareness. And there's so much going on and it takes a long time, but still it only happens in one flash of consciousness, of awareness. Time doesn't exist, world doesn't exist, it is just one flash of understanding. Knowing is the only thing that exists. Phew, I know. Once you understand a problem, the problem could be there for years, but the understanding flashes it away in a split second. Problem is big and great, understanding is point, but it dissolves the problem immediately. This is going on when you are aware of what you are. You are this greatness in which appears a temporary world, a spot, a flash, dust. blowing in the wind. And when you are in it, you have the greatest difficulties with all things around you. All the happenings, they make you go up and down. That's what happens. It is in your mind only. All appears in your mind, because what was yesterday, it's not here now. Your mind is now appointed to other things. But go in and see what it is that sees this mind. What is that in which all this comes and goes? That's your eternal beingness, free of all that coming and going, and still it goes on, but you see it. Okay, it's a question of movement, of going out of this tiny mind prison that keeps you locked. And what can happen tomorrow? Whoa. I must be careful. I must be. After tomorrow, gone. Before tomorrow, gone. Was it even there? If your mind says so, yes, and you will suffer and you will be attached to it. But see it from the place from where it is seen. Not what is seen, but from where all that is seen, and it is gone in a flash, a split second. Good. Have a nice appearance and disappearance, and stay aware of that which sees that. That's you. Even in the morning, you appear in your own awareness. It's the truth. You are unaware of yourself in a deep sleep. Then something starts to move, and in your mind, which was not there in the deep sleep, mind is appearing, and in that mind pictures arise, forms. The strangest things can happen in the dream state. All of a sudden you are on a mountain, and then there is somebody talking with you who was dead for a long time. He's sitting there, and then you change and you are younger, and all that stuff can appear in the dream state. When the mind is coming back out of nothingness, it starts to appear, and it has all kinds of forms, and it is not capable yet to make logical forms. That happens when you wake up in the morning and you appear in your own awareness. Then the mind is immediately pointing back to your level of consciousness, and you say, oh, it's that time, I go down, I have to do this or that, and then it is personal. But you are aware of it. You are aware of your own appearance. And when you are so tired of all this stuff, you fall asleep in the night, and you are so exhausted, you are so happy to lay down your head and disappear, because it is with the mind, it is also the body that appears. First, the mind appears out of the deep sleep. There starts the mind moving, filling itself with strange pictures and imaginations. And then, a certain moment, the body appears, and the mind and the body work together to the state that you are now in the day. Only when you are aware of all this, it still happens, but it doesn't matter anymore. Deep sleep or dream state or wake state, it is all appearances in that great realm, that place which you are, from where you see all arise. And that's the truth. That's your true being. You can look at it, or you can say, I have seen so much is always the same. I'm not interested anymore. It doesn't matter. I am free of all that. And that's your true being. If you are in that state, no more appearances in the dream state and in the day. No more body forms, no more birth, no more nothing, no more things and no things. You are free. So just sit out the time that you are still waking up in the morning in the body. You can enjoy it. The coffee tastes good, and a walk in the sun is nice, and so that's what you do now. Nothing more. It's done. You are done. And all the time you, that knows this. You are aware of your own being, and in the form and without form. That's it. Free. Stay aware, stay consciousness of the fact that all that happens in the day is the same substance as your dream. Only in daytime it is a bit more ordered by your personal opinion. In the sleep, in the night, in the sleep dream, things appear, but there is no one in it to arrange it and to make it one thing follow the other. There is no mind working. It is appearing in the mind, but the mind is the tool. And then the mind gets stronger in the day, wakes up your body, and then at that state the person arrives from nowhere. It was gone, and then it arrives again. Out of what? That's a good question. Where does your body mind arise from in the morning? Well, it doesn't. It is imagination. But as long as we think so, we wake up in the morning, all the appearances start to have a sort of line, one following the other, following the other, and the time says, oh, now it's time to do this, it's time to do that, because of the habit of the mind. That is what is contracted in all those life years in the day state, in the waking state. You may build up habits, and then you are stuck on to that habits. Are you aware? It doesn't matter. What happens doesn't matter at all, as long as you know that you are the seer. Not even seer, but you are seeing. You are that seeing. That entity that is not attached to anything that shows up. So you don't have to control things, you don't have to put them in the right order. Well, of course, we teach our children exactly that, because they only know that daydream state. They know they are separated from others and they need a structure in their life. But the sooner you get wiser and you are seeing that all happens in your own awareness, then it doesn't matter what happens in the day, because you know it's a dream, it's your own dream. But first, the children that are born have to get done with their karma, with the things from former lives. So the best for them is to follow the system, and later on consciousness will open. But once you are wise and old Mostly it's that you need many years to grow to that wisdom. But once you know that, it is pew! At once you oversee it all. You see through all the appearances of the mind, and then it's okay. You are free of what is appearing. It still appears, of course. It's fun. And when it's painful, it's accepted. But the more wiser you get, the less painful it is. Mostly it's pain for the others that you are aware of and you are experiencing, because you cannot help them. They have to finish their own road and work away their own karma. But you know that they will, because everything turns back to light, to wisdom. So that's good to know. Be happy, be happy. When we feel happy or glad, there's always this mind that receives this feeling, this emotion. And it is always from something that is not ourself. It's always from something from the mind, so from the world. And it will not last. The real state, what we are, the sleep, the dreamless deep sleep, there is the bliss, the true bliss that we are, but there is no one to receive it. There is no somebody like in this daydream world, which is not real, but we think it's real. There is this somebody that receives the feelings of the world. That's your mind. And it says this is nice and that's not nice. It's dualistic mind. It's always dualistic. But when you are, this mind doesn't work, it is not there, it's a tool, and when you don't use it, it is not there. And in the deep sleep state, we don't use the mind, so it is not there, so it cannot be touched by whatever things happen. And in that free state, there is this continuous bliss, but no one to receive it. That means that the one in the world with the mind should diminish and disappear, in fact, by not wanting and expecting things of the world. And then this inner being grows in your awareness. What you are will be known, not by the mind, but by yourself. You are this bliss, and you can feel this bliss when you don't want something from the outer world. So the mind, go away, don't expect anything, be silent and still, and at that moment the inner is opening up, the bliss of the self-being, and it will be first experienced in the deep sleep state. You will wake up with a well-being, and then it will continue in the day, because the mind has no grip on you anymore. It's not the bliss of the mind, the happiness of the mind, but the bliss of yourself without mind. That's the reality. You can reach it by not using your mind anymore. When you need your mind, it will work. If the traffic light is red, you will stop. And when the bread is, you have no more bread, you will go and get bread. But that's what the mind is used for. And for the rest, leave it in the cupboard. Let it locked. And all will go well. And in the meantime, the inner self has the chance to appear and to glow and to grow in your awareness. That's your eternal being. then there's no more body and mind needed to bring you there, because you are it. See what I mean? We are so full of bliss, and we run over it to get some happiness from the world that will disappear. Well, that's the dream, and we will wake up. The more you are pointing yourself, your attention to this inner silence, the more it will be felt. Happy, 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 yes, always happy. We always give happiness a sort of form. We expect something, and that must make us happy. So if you ask people what makes you happy, everybody has another sort of thing that makes them happy. So that is not really the happiness. It's just appearing emotion about something, and it cannot last. The real happiness is underneath. It is an underlying being what we are, on which this form is temporary busy and working and taking your soft state of happiness away. It is, in fact, it makes it dirty, and it must be washed clean to be able to experience it again. So if we all things of the world in our mind work away, if we don't want something from the world to make us happy for a moment, then slowly we sink back into our real state of bliss. It is simple. Just see the world as a movie. Experience it as a passing movie or a film, and stay alert that you don't go in it, and then you will drift on your own bliss. Is that good? You are doing it now. You are drifting on the source of your bliss. But you go there to find something making you explode and yell for happiness, and whoa, that's not a reality. That's mind. That's the mind that fools you. Mind is it's an animal that it kills you. Yeah. And all the time you drift on this softness that you are. Right here, right now, eternally. Feel it. It's not boom, it's happy. As a newborn baby, your soul misses the reality of your being. You are thrown in a form that's a prison. You don't feel free. That's why babies cry, and they get used to that state. Mother takes care, it gets food and warmth and attention, and then it slowly loses that feeling of being a stranger, and it adapts itself to this human form. But still there is, of course, this feeling of you miss something, although a baby doesn't know it. But when the baby cries, the mama comes and gives it a puppet or something with noise, and then the baby is distracted, grasps, and happy, it is lost in the world of material, of matter. And that's why we think this stuff around us can make us happy. But we have to rework it, that it's not the stuff around you that makes you happy. We all know that because it's going by and you want another thing. The only thing making you happy is to know what you are. This soul inside, this blissful being that you are. That's the only happiness. And still, when you realize that you are still on this earth, in this material world, that doesn't mean that you have to reject anything. You can still enjoy it, but you know it is not that what you want. It is the soul inside feeling its peace, and the things around you can give you a joy. So, there was nothing to be put away. Only first know what you are, and then go on with this knowing. You are blissful, and on top of that, the joy moments of the world. And then you disappear from this world into the bliss that you are. That's what awaits for you. That's awaiting for you if you use your consciousness. Bliss, happiness, joy. That's all. All the rest is mind stuff. Don't listen. Just be and look around. Beautiful. No matter a rain, storm, sunshine, it doesn't matter. It's just material. And you are this blissful being. Joy and bliss. Happy, happy, happy.